what requires deep prospecting? What are the things that funnel into your business that would have a situation in the future of what, needs deep prospecting? And in the new deep prospecting course, I'm going to be kind of like, outlining these things. But obviously, one of them is fully exhausted records, right? That happens from your marketing. Well, pretty much all of them happen from your marketing, but fully exhausted, those pluck out. Then you have marketing exhausted, which is obviously once you've marketed a certain amount of attempts on something and they haven't got any response yet, deep prospecting those. Because of the sheer volume of what those ones end up being, we typically do things like sending direct mail, right, to those. And this makes return mail. So return mail is the third thing that would pop out, stuff that needs deep prospected. The fourth one is going to be urgents. Right. For me, urgents are essentially things that we brought in first to market data, or it's a property that's, say, from Driving for Dollars, and hey, I really need to get a hold of that person. So that's an urgent. And so there's really three different boards that are needed for deep prospecting flows, in my opinion: urgents, return mail, and then fully exhausted. And so I built a process in our business that we teaches, part of the Unbreakable War system, basically, where it's like at the very top, we have urgents. Second is going to be fully exhausted, and third is return mail. Honestly, I think I'm going to be swapping return mail and fully exhausted because I feel like return mail has a higher priority for deep prospecting. But just because you received return mail does not mean that you've called it, right? Because if you're sending first to market mail, you could get a return mail piece potentially before you maybe call through that. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. And also, you might get a return mail and you might have actually ended up reaching them while you were calling, right? And so you just got to make sure that your callers are aware to look at these records rather than just aimlessly, doing all the deep prospecting, right? Like I had one, I think I might have showed it. I might have showed it a couple weeks ago on the biweekly, but basically what it was is I already had this deal under contract and it popped up under the probate list because I'm the one that filed probate on it, right? I put it under contract and then we filed probate with the seller. And so it was already in my REI Sift account. It popped up on our probate list. So that's one of the triggers to say, hey, if it's already in our account and it was already had a status that's not follow-up or something, like if it's any other status, then switch it to urgent so that we can call through it. And I did not express to my team that, yes, but if the status is of a lead and it's already under contract, then we don't want to put it through the urgent process because it's already under contract. Like if it was just a lead and we hadn't put it under contract yet, yeah, we're going to go through the urgent process. With the urgent process or with deep prospecting in general, something to remember too is that if you do gather a correct number already, what you're really saying, like in the case of, let's just say for us, one of the urgent criteria is it might be under not interested, and then maybe 5 months later it pops up on the evictions list. If my VA sees that, it's going to switch from not interested to urgent, and urgent means to basically call right away, or deep prospect. It's like one or the other. If it already has a correct number, we're going to call that correct number and see, hey, what's going on? You said not interested in the past. Is anything changed? It basically triggers like a more important focused follow-up. But if it was that, maybe it was on a tax auction list and then and now it popped up on probate, that's also going to create an urgent, right? But we might have never marketed to them before. So that's going to end up being a deep prospecting, right? And so you got to have a little bit of a flow chart here. We have this in our playbooks. Yeah, they're recorded. But that's just a general thing. So when you're building out that process, obviously the first part is making sure that you have a video to say, hey, this is how you actually do the deep prospecting. The second is, hey, this is how things come into my business to be deep prospected. And then here's the things to watch out for, right? When you open a record, if it's in this, Sift line board, for example, then these are the scenarios that may arise. Make sure you account for them and so on. And then that builds out the playbook, right? So you get your how to deep prospect, you get your scenarios, build out your playbook, and now you can fully hand off that whole process rather than just one piece of it, right? I'm going to give you some free money. I'm going to remove all excuses that you have on why you can't get started in REI Sift by actually giving you money to start here at REI Sift. Using this coupon code, you'll get $25 to use for skip tracing, direct mail, and whatever else you want. And I'm gonna go even further and let you know that when you sign up, if you go ahead and message support, you might even be able to get yourself a little bit of data in there as well. But just know that it's way more data than you would need in order to get your first deal, your second deal, or even just get a few more deals inside your business, especially when it's free. Use this coupon code, go sign up for a trial, and continue watching our content and learn more about how to be awesome at sales and marketing in real estate.